Greetings from Meade Stadium in Kingston, Rhode Island. Ted Alexander, Andy Mishaw from Monarch Media, and a look at that game against Rhode Island. Monarchs come from behind to win 31-23. This was a crazy one, as they all are, Andy.
Anytime you go on the road, it's going to be a battle. Doesn't matter what the records are, especially in this conference, you're going to have to fight for it.
First start of the career for true freshman Taylor Heineke, because Thomas DeMarco is out. He was just holding on this particular day, but Heineke scores the first points of the game.
First points of the game, not a pass. He had to run off with it, and that was not a planned run either. He took what the defense gave him. Back in man coverage, he just took off and dove for the pylon.
Heineke set up by the Craig Wilkins interception, and the Monarchs led 7-0, but back would come Rhode Island to score a couple of touchdowns, and then before you knew it, it was 14-7 Rhode looking for another win here at home in a game they said was a must-win.
Yeah, they thought this game was going to be their season. They have to turn things around for them on this game in a conference win. Offense was not a pretty flashy offense. It was kind of a grind out, beat you up kind of offense, and they hung in there, man. They played very well. Probst played very well when he was in there, kept them in this game.
So you're thinking, 14-7 Rhode Island. The offense hasn't really gotten rolling, and the defense has been out there a long time. But late in the second quarter, Heineke and the O's started finding their rhythm.
The best time ever to have their best drive of the game so far is as they're going into halftime. Gave them all kinds of confidence. He got some great catches from Reed Evans on the sideline and some from Antonio Vaughn on the other sideline that helped set up that drive. He got some confidence built up, some rhythm built up. They go in, tied at halftime. Cannot understate how important that drive was.
Huge touchdown pass. Heineke goes to Larry Pinkard, and it was 14-14 as they put it on the board with 22 seconds to go. So in the second half, Monarchs go for the onside kick. Didn't work out, but the defense came up. And against an injured Ram team, Anthony Baskerville in a quarterback because Probst was knocked out, he scores, and the seesaw battle has begun.
Yeah, here we go again. Neil, I had the shot with the onside kick, didn't get it. Team comes down, they score, they go right back into this game. I told you, you got to fight for them on the road.
Got to fight for them, and you have to make your extra points when you can, and Rhode Island did not, so they only took a 20-14 advantage, and that meant when Old Dominion came back and got Heineke to Pinkard part 2, it was a Monarch lead, 21-20.
Yeah, it's almost the same play they got him on the first time. It was the same defender again. Good move put on by Pinkard. He had 2 catches on the day. Both of them were in the end zone.
The thing you have to like about this league is the fact that these teams aren't going to give up, and Rhode Island did not give up. They get a field goal from 38 yards, and they go back in front 23-20. And if you're Old Dominion with 6.5 to go in the third quarter, you're thinking, well, we're really rolling here, but we're in a dogfight.
Yeah, it wasn't over yet. You know, they're going to have to come back, and you're going to have to fight for it. They did a good job towards the end, though. Milked the clock, got some rushing yards. Tyree Lee, Angus Harper, both of them splitting carries down the middle, were workhorses today when they had to be.
When the deal was about to be done, it was Taylor Heineke to Nick Mayers inside the 10, a tough throw and catch, and extra effort from Mayers to get into the end zone, and the Monarchs had a lead they wouldn't relinquish.
Yeah, Pinkard driving back the defense, taking the coverage deep, Mayers underneath, and he took on 2 defenders at the goal line and won.
Brown adds a field goal to make it 31-23, and then the deal sealer comes from the defense that really turned it up in the fourth quarter especially. I know Probst was a little banged up, but 2 sacks on 1 series, I mean, come on, and then Eric Lewis's interception, and the dress was in the bag.
Well, you can't give him too much credit. I mean, Probst was injured, but the reason he was injured was because of the defense, so they played well, and when they had to have it, Eric Lewis was right there for his second interception of the season, and that one sealed it.
Monarchs go to 5-1 overall, 2-1 in the CAA, and the first road win has to feel good.
Has to feel very good. Coach Waddle looked as happy as I have seen him after a win in 3 years. I mean, he's had some big wins, but this one was sweet for him. They're going to have a nice, happy plane ride home.
5-1 the Monarch record after a 31-23 win over Rhode Island here at Meade Stadium. For Andy Mishaw, this is Ted Alexander in Kingston, Rhode Island for Monarch Media.